Hi, I'm Alex from the Limestone Coast Landscape Board, and today I'm going to show you how to take a soil sample on your property. Testing the characteristics of soil on your property can help you make informed decisions on fertilizer and other soil amendments, improving your soil's productivity and property's bottom line. Identifying what you are testing for will dictate the best sampling method for your property. For instance, some people look to monitor nutrient levels across a season, while other people look to diagnose a potential crop issue. To begin with, it's important to understand there are many methods to soil sampling, each with varying levels of time, effort, and cost. These can range from a grid method, which involves taking 2 to 3 samples per hectare, to a more general composite method that involves taking only a few samples across your entire property. The grid method is particularly useful for creating maps that show the variation in soil nutrient levels or other properties such as pH. While it's considered the most thorough sampling method, it can be more expensive than other methods. For smaller landholders, especially in pasture settings, directed soil sampling may be more appropriate. This involves dividing your property into sampling zones based on paddocks, soil types, or land use. Land uses can range from pastures to viticultures, and soil types can be classified on their textures. Aerial photographs or satellite imagery, as well as on-site inspections, can be used to create specific sampling zones. It's important to avoid exclusion zones that may affect the integrity of the soil test results. These may include native vegetation, laneways, or water troughs. To conduct soil sampling in the field, you'll need some equipment. Firstly, you'll need a soil sampler. You'll also need snap lock bag to store your samples, a marker pen to label your bags, a trowel, a bucket to collect your subsamples, and a tray to mix your subsamples. This is how to use a soil sampler to collect the subsamples in your field. You'll need roughly 500 grams of soil for your sample. It's also important when you're in the field to avoid any areas of obvious difference, such as dung patches, urine patches, or areas with significant differences in growth. It's beneficial to take any notes of variation in your landscape.
You can also look for any visual symptoms of plant deficiencies which may be useful when interpreting your soil test results. To make sure your sample is representative of the whole sample section, you will need to thoroughly mix your subsamples in a tray like this, removing any rocks or roots. Carefully avoiding any potential contamination by doing one sample at a time and avoiding contact with any equipment that hasn't been cleaned. You can then put the required amount of soil in your sample bag and label accordingly. There are a few considerations to be made when storing your fresh samples. If needing to be stored for long periods, keep your samples cool and dark, but ideally you'd be sending your samples to the lab as soon as possible. You'll also need to be aware of any biosecurity risks and requirements when moving soil off your property.
Soil sampling is a valuable tool to help you make decisions best suited to your property to help you achieve your farm goals.